and I will provide some guidance for our meditation this morning. So please go ahead and settle into a comfortable meditation posture. And when you're ready, using whichever method you find most effective, please allow both your physical body and your mind to start to settle and rest, to become quiet and still. When you are ready, please go ahead and transition into meditation on the inner body. One of the insights to be had from the inner body meditation is that the body has consciousness. Another insight from the inner body meditation is that the consciousness and body are not separate. As you know, your consciousness is not confined to the envelope of your skin. And because your consciousness is not separate from your body, your body is also necessarily not confined to the envelope of your skin. So for the remainder of our meditation this morning, I'd like you to please just very gently observe sensations of the body that extend beyond the envelope of the skin. Form is empty. Emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form also is not other than emptiness. Now, very gently, very gently, please allow your consciousness to become less absorbed as you begin to arise from meditation. We dedicate all of the merit from this morning's meditation to world peace. May all beings without exception be completely free from all forms of mental and physical suffering. May all beings without exception be happy, peaceful, contented, and free. And we make special dedications this morning for the following: Diana Williams, Ed Wilmot, Lisa Jekyll, Andre Jordan, and all beings in this world who suffer from Lyme disease. May all these friends enjoy a swift and complete return to perfect physical and emotional health. Completely fill up your belly and lungs with air, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your meditation to an end. Welcome back, everyone. So for the last 3 classes or so, we have been talking about samsara. And I just wanted to check in and see if anyone had any questions or anything that you'd like to share with regard to your contemplations and or meditations on samsara. If so, please unmute yourself and ask away or share away. Okay. So I'm not sure, this point can't be emphasized enough, and that is that samsara is our own personal experience that we're having. To the extent that we haven't been liberated from samsara. Of course, the definition of samsara being all the appearances and conceptions of a deluded mind. The translation of the Sanskrit word samsara is cyclic existence. We need to understand, come to an understanding, a very clear understanding of our samsara, become familiar with our experience of it. You'll remember that the Buddha's first bit of advice at his first teaching was, first you should know suffering. We should know our samsara, and we should develop the intention. Well, we can develop the intention to liberate ourselves from samsara. It's not you should know samsara because you're going to be stuck here forever. No, it is to once we recognize and develop an appreciation for our samsaric situation, we can develop the resolve to free ourselves from what's referred to often as the prison of samsara. Remember, the Buddha's third noble truth was you should attain cessations. You should attain cessations from suffering in general, i.e., your samsara. Cyclic existence, the karmic cycle. We engage in actions, we experience their effects. We engage in actions, we experience their effects. This is karma. And by cyclic existence, in some situations, that cyclic existence of samsara is our karma. It is karmic. If just give yourself permission, if you would, give yourself permission to imagine what it would be like to get off the wheel of karma, like to no longer have any karma, good, bad, neutral. And if we have no karma through purification practice, if we have no karma, then we necessarily don't have the karma to take rebirth, right? We transcend rebirth, aging, sickness, death. We transcend that because we've gotten off of the karmic wheel. It's a really trippy notion to think about what it would be like to transcend birth and death, that cycle. It took me several years to kind of wrap my mind around it. And once I finally did, I realized the power of it. And just wanted to just offer a couple of thoughts about samsara and liberating ourselves from samsara before we move back to our discussion on the Lojong. So we are continuing from Transform Your Life, the chapter called How to Enhance Cherishing Love, the particular section being recognizing our faults in the mirror of Dharma. And Geshe Kelsang writes here, and just one other thing about the Lojong and the consequences of self-cherishing and the benefits of cherishing others. Even to this day, I still have a little bit of resistance to the word, or to the word cherishing within the context of abandoning self-cherishing. I just can't say it enough that we Westerners are unique in that one of our problems is self-hatred. And in certain cultures, that's like not a thing. Self-hatred is not a thing. I think I've told the story a couple times about the Dalai Lama being presented at a public discourse with the question, what about self-hatred? How can we completely abandon self-cherishing when we're dealing with this issue of self-hatred? And the notion of self-hatred was a completely foreign notion to him. It wasn't a thing in his world. And they had to interrupt the discourse for several minutes while the translator tried to explain to him what self-hatred is. So anyways, I just say all that to say that if the expression self-hatred hangs you up a little bit, like it does for me, pick a different word, pick a different expression. Self-centeredness, self-obsession, whatever term, label helps you connect with these teachings and this advice. So Geshe Kelsang lays it out here in pretty frank terms. He writes, The reason we do not cherish all living beings is that we are so preoccupied with ourself. And this leaves very little room in our mind to appreciate others. If we wish to cherish others sincerely, we have to reduce our obsessive self-concern. It's like I say, it's pretty frank. Tough love, some might refer to it. And here too, I would invite you to please do a deep, thoughtful dive into some of these, into all of these suggestions. Don't take the words of Geshe Kelsang or all of the teachers before him all the way back to a Lama named Bodhisattva Langri Tangpa, who first introduced the Lojong teachings in an 11th century text called 8 Verses in Training the Mind. Don't take all of their words, check it out for yourself. So for example, just starting with this notion of cherishing others. For you, is that a meaningful, worthwhile aspiration to which you should apply your energies? Ask yourself that, please examine it carefully. The main reason we don't cherish all living beings, which is to say that, according to Geshe Kelsang, we should try to come to cherish all living beings. Is that true? What would the benefits of that be if I could come to cherish others more? Is it worse? The main reason we don't cherish all living beings is that we are so preoccupied with ourselves. Is that true? Are you preoccupied with yourself? For me, a good litmus test is what's going on with the noise machine in the head, the monologue or the dialogue? What is the main topic of the monologue or dialogue going on in my head? Usually me, mine, how is this situation going to affect me? Kind of preoccupied with self and my concerns and mine. And this leaves very little room in our mind to appreciate others. If we wish to cherish others sincerely, we have to reduce our obsessive self-concern. Why is it that we regard ourselves as so precious but not others? It's because we're so familiar with self-cherishing. Remember the expression we've used in the past, the force of familiarity? The more familiar we become with something, the more it's ingrained in our practices and our habits and our views. Since beginning, now here Geshe Kelsang changes course just a little bit. He says, since beginningless time, we have grasped at a truly existent I. So kind of moves a little bit from self-cherishing to self-grasping. That's really important. Remember, self-grasping being our grasping at phenomena as though it has true inherent existence separate from our mind. It truly, fundamentally, intrinsically, inherently exists from its own side without my mind having anything to do with it. The context here is our sense of self. We grasp at this sense of self, and then Geshe Kelsang writes, this grasping at I automatically gives rise to self-cherishing. So we grasp at an inherently existing self, and then boom, a nanosecond later, it's on to self-cherishing. What about me? What about mine? What's going to happen to me? How is this situation going to affect me? Since beginningless time, we've grasped at a truly existent I. This grasping at I automatically gives rise to self-cherishing, which instinctively feels I am more important than others. So check in with yourself on that point too, please. Is that a view that I hold? Do my thoughts seem to suggest that I hold myself as being more important than another person, or even more important than others, plural? The happiness of this one person is more important than the happiness of many, many others? Check and see, please, if that's a view that you hold, while being gentle with yourself. We're out of time. I want to make a couple of announcements, please. We are in our Thursday night class on the Mahamudra next Thursday at 5:30, and the following Thursday, we're going to be talking about emptiness. This will be a good review for those of you who have received teachings on emptiness before. For those of you who haven't received emptiness teachings, and I'm thinking about the 2002 group of how to start and maintain a consistent meditation practice, we've talked about made up ideas, but we haven't talked explicitly and sort of like properly about emptiness, the emptiness of phenomena. So whether you attend in person, whether you Zoom in, whether you listen to it via recording on the YouTube channel, you may want to investigate this. I think it will be worthwhile. Announcement number 2 is I'm going to be out of town on Monday, so we won't be having class. We'll convene again a week from today. Have a great day and a great weekend. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Jeff. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jeff. Hi, Tina.
Hi, Roberta.